So hello everybody, it's been a very long time since I've made a video and a lot has happened. Plus my bike's making really weird noises. Anyway, so basically, this is what's been going on. In the last 10 months I would say, I had my full license revoked and I had a crash, which I'll talk about both in just a second. Yeah. It's quite busy, I suppose. Basically, back in last October, not the one just gone, like a year ago, 2012, I was caught wheeling. Yep, I was caught doing this on my DT125, and I got 3 points from it. Went to court for 3 points, which means I hit my 6-point limit in the first 2 years, and my license was revoked. Calm down, smoker. And my license revoked, so I had to reapply, get my provisional back, get back on my 125. Get back on my 125 and start again. Well, 2 weeks after I got back onto my 125, after reapplying for my provisional, doing my CBT, I got back on my 125 and I bought a road legal quad bike. And I was on my way to go get some parts for my quad bike, and a 4x4 decided to turn into me and took me off my bike. I was airlifted from about a mile away from my house to about 8 or 9 miles away to a hospital. Like, I was airlifted to the hospital, and it turned out I knew I had, but at the side of the road, I'd broken my right leg and sustained a major gash, or open fracture they called it, because my bone had basically split out of my leg. I had an operation the night of the crash. It was a 9-hour operation. Let's go down here. 9 hours I got out. I had a metal rod put into my leg with 2 pins at the top and bottom. A skin graft which was taken from my thigh. Many staples all over my leg from various different parts. Many staples on my leg. Staples, skin graft. So it's wasn't very pretty. Following on from that, my leg got infected twice, and I had to have 2 more follow-up operations to have the skin graft cleaned out and a separate little wound below cleaned out, which I was supposed to be in there for about 2 weeks. I was in there altogether for 5.5 weeks in hospital, bedbound, wasn't allowed to get up in case the skin graft slid off my leg. So I was bedbound for 5.5 weeks. I was released. The day of my release, I would say release as if it was a prison, but the day I was let out is the first day I was allowed to even bend my knee, because they were scared, because they had to move some of my muscle from the back of my leg to the front of my leg, and they were scared that if I moved my knee, it would rip the stitches holding my muscle together, and then I'd just have a loose flappy muscle, because they can't put a skin graft straight onto nothing. They have to do it on top of a muscle. That was awesome. You flash it and the headlights lift up. So I had a skin graft, had the muscle moved, so I bent my knee on the day I was released and was on crutches for a further 26 weeks, or like altogether, so it was a further 21 or 22 weeks I was on crutches. Wasn't allowed to weight bear on my leg. Then after 27 altogether from my crash, 27 or 28 weeks, or 26 weeks I think it was, I was allowed to start walking on it. The problem is my bone wasn't healing. It hasn't been healing. It has semi-healed. The front half of the bone has semi-healed, but the rear half of the bone hasn't. So they said I could start walking on it. They booked me in for a CAT scan, or a CT scan, whatever they're called. So I went for the scan. I'm going to put some pictures up here of the accident. It's very, very gorish, lots of blood. So if you are, just turn away for just a second. I'm going to put it up now, and I will take it away now. You can look back. What was I going to say? So I had the scan. I went for the scan a couple of weeks ago, and then went back to find out what's going on with it. And it turns out the actual scan shows the rear of my bone hasn't healed whatsoever. Not a single little bit. So I have to. There's 3 courses left, 3 actions left, should I say? The first is what we're doing is I have to collect this leg vibrator thing, which I'm not 100% sure what exactly it is, but it's a vibrator I have to put on my leg twice a day, and it's supposed to vibrate the muscles. Get off this. It's to vibrate the muscles to try and make them heal, like fuse back together. But I can't see that's working. I'm supposed to have it for 3 months, and next February. So this point, it's almost a year. I have to go back. If it's not worked, I'm going to have an operation and get the bar taken out of my leg, which is what's going to have to happen. They're going to put a new bar in, and I think they mush up the take away bit of the bone to try and make it fresh. So I've got to have that done. If that then doesn't work, which will be a follow 6 to 9 months after that happens, if I still have no problems, then I'm going to have to get a cage around my leg. Which most of you have seen the cages. It's like scaffolding around with bars going into my skin from an outside external source, and you have to get them tightened up all the time, which then re-breaks the bone and it makes it do it slightly at a time. Oh, I think I'm sticking out a little bit here. My bad, person. My bad. So I could have to have this bar, this scaffolding put on, which I probably will, to be honest. Where do I want to go? Let's go straight ahead. So I'm going to end up having scaffolding put on in my leg. I can see it's going to happen. That's quite bad actually. The second day out of hospital, I wasn't walking, had crutches. I was riding my DT again on L plates. I love my bike, have to ride it, can't stop. So I would strap my crutches across my handlebars, and I would ride. Get to where I'm going. My bike is kickstart only, so I'd have to get one of my friends or my dad for the first couple of times to start the bike until I could. Even though I probably shouldn't have been, but thought it. Go on, mate. So the bone got healed, I suppose. It's semi-healed to the point where I can walk, which is good. As soon as a week after I started walking, I'd rebooked mod 1. I actually booked mod 1 2 days after I crashed. I was supposed to do it. So I redid my mod 1 and failed, unfortunately, the first time. And I failed because I had only been walking for a week after not walking on it for 28 weeks, and it was pissing it down, proper pissing it down, to the point where I was worried about snatching the front brake on this GS500 I was doing my test on, because I thought I was going to slide out. So I was trying to apply the back brake and not so much front, and my stopping distance was just too long. Which was the first time I'd ridden in the rain on a big bike with a broken leg where I couldn't really feel how much pressure I was putting on the rear brake. So after that I left it a few weeks, then went back to redo it, passed it, then booked my mod 2 for 2 weeks after, no, a week and a half after, and went back, passed that first time with 1 minor for going 25 in a 30 zone. Then the same day after I passed my test, I got home about 3:30. I faffed about trying to find all the paperwork and everything for this. Went down, I had my MOT runs out in December, so this month, the end of this month, because I got it done last year. So I had MOT, so I rushed about, got insured on it, found all the paperwork, then went and got taxed for it, and I was riding it that night. Subsequently, because of my crash, I lost my no claims until it's sorted. So when it came to time to renew, I had to I renewed my DT, just my DT, because I didn't have the full license, which was £750 for my 125. After the year before, it was 500. And it should have been last year, or when I renewed, it should have been 800 for my DT 125 and this, my NTV 650, if you can see it. which is making funny noises at the moment, but I'll find that out later. But now I'm insured on them both, and it's cost me about $1,300 for both this year, which is no claims, which is not too bad, I suppose. This is where I crashed. Basically, I was coming down on the outside, like here, the stationary car, the traffic lights are red. I got to here, the lights went green, I moved over because there was a car sitting here. As I moved over, the car turned into there and took me out. The car was stationary on the wrong side of the traffic lights, so he must have been there since before the red lights. So I have no idea why he was sitting there and why he decided to turn into me at that particular moment, but shit happens. It's getting sorted out with solicitors at the moment. Go this way. So hopefully it'll get sorted soon. I'll get my no claims back and get back to my life, I suppose. I don't know really. I'll skip this bit. The traffic lights will take ages. So I don't know, the last year's been fun, but I'm back on my big bike. My legs healing-ish to the point where I can walk, which is fine with me. I now wear leather trousers, which make me feel like a right pimp. They're cool. And I love wheelies. I love them, so came around the corner on one side of the road, and now I can't see anything. Hello car, yes. But I love wheelies, so. But next stage, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I might get a stunt bike. I might build a little stunt bike and just go, so I don't have to do it on the road, because I know it's naughty. That's what you're going to do. Okay, well that's it, I think. Love you and leave you all, and I should hopefully not leave it about 12 or 13 months before I upload again, or upload something new rather than just videos I've had for ages. So, take it easy all. Leave me any comments if you have anything to say, or just, I don't know, if you recognise any of these roads and want to go for a nice ride, hit me up. Take it easy all.